Hello and welcome to the webinar from the Pittcon Exposition. Today's webinar is I got my booth number, now what? I am the chair for the exposition, Jeff White. The chairs-elect for next year are Charlie Holofield and Jan Pfeiffer. The more important people, the people that you need to know quite well for this whole process to make sure you get your ROI through attending Pittcon as an exhibitor, are Tammy Yallum and Diane Kenna. Their contact information is on the slide there, and you will be able to access this slideshow in its entirety with all the contact information later. One of the things we want to go through to start this is to show you the floor plan as it has evolved so far. This is, of course, subject to certain changes. You can see it's generally the same. We've kept the same footprint with that park that is non-linear this year, and we have the new exhibitors up on the right as is planned. The entrances are toward the front. You'll see the hall entrance on the far right as you look at things is right above where the buses will drop off. And on the far left, there is an entrance as well that will come from some other hotels that different attendees will be coming from. The GES Service Center, where most of your exhibiting needs can be met, will be in the back. We do have some representatives from GES who will talk to you in a little bit. The exposition office will be right next to the GES Service Center. Tammy and Diane will be in the exposition office, as will I, and we'll be able to help you with any sort of specific Pittcon related needs and answer questions about future years. The poster sessions will be held in the back, close to where the exposition office is. The poster sessions will be a little bit different in making sure that there's a better flow throughout the day instead of it being torn down and empty in certain parts. So those who are near the posters will have a lot nicer of an experience and have an opportunity to walk over at any time and see certain different technical types of presentations. The Nexus Zones have been brought back, as we've discussed before. The Nexus Zones are sort of the softer science, not necessarily as technical as the program. There will be some other interest types of topics that are informative and helpful for those in the community who would be attending the conference but may not want to attend the technical program itself. Look for those to be an area where you have a lot of traffic and a lot of flow and a lot of interesting discussions. And then, of course, there are the souvenir booths will drive the traffic toward those areas where people will be going to get their bags, and we'll be having apples and information available at those places. As I mentioned on the far right, as you look at the map, the new exhibitors area is right on Hall A there. Philadelphia does it from right to left, A to E. So Hall A is where the new exhibitors will be. And as you can see, the park is starting to develop. Most of the spaces near the park have been filled up. The park is going to stretch from Hall E into Hall C with a little bit of a movement forward to spread out who's able to actually get the benefit of those attendees who are going into the park. And if you look closely, you can see we are having a lot of the same types of popular things that we've had in the past with regard to the lab gauntlet, as well as the other various features that you can see. Some of the important items to remember, and if you have questions about any of these, please reach out to us for sure. Tammy and Diane can definitely answer the details on these. The staggered movement is probably the biggest thing to understand. Halls B through E, so when you were looking at the map, that was the left side. The B through E move-in begins on Thursday, March 14th. And the booth numbers associated with those halls are identified there. So 1306 to 4201. The maximum height identified there is 24 feet from the floor. But the big important thing to remember is that staggered start where halls B to E are the only ones that can move in on Thursday. Hall A moves in on Friday. And Hall A is booths 506 to 1207. You can see Hall A also has other restrictions, like nothing being higher than 8'3" and hanging banners being prohibited. One specific reminder we want to give about the rules is relating to carpet or floor coverings. You can see very specific information about what floor covering is acceptable. I'm not going to read through it, but make sure that you're complying with those requirements, because we've had some issues in the past and we are going to be a little bit stricter on them this year. So that is pretty much everything that we're presenting on the expo side. We are open for any questions if anybody has any, or we can move on to the next discussion, which will be from GES.
Any questions? No questions.
So our moderators checked and nobody has entered any questions. So at this point, we will turn it over to Tama Merritt from GES.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tama Merritt. I'm Associate Director of Account Management here at GES. GES is your general services contractor. And what that means for you is that we will provide or can provide all of your booth requirements. In other words, you can order booth packages from us, tables, chairs, carpet, the flooring requirement. We can help you out with that with carpet rentals. We do signage and graphics to help with your branding of your booth. And we do custom displays. And we can give you that contact information to have someone work with you if you want to do a custom design. We also handle all the material handling, and that's when your booth equipment arrives to the hall. We do all the unloading and bringing the equipment to your booth, and we're going to talk a little bit more detail in a few minutes about that. We also provide all of your labor to help you set up your booth, and cleaning services. If you'd like cleaning throughout the show, we'll provide that service. And I'm going to introduce you to Brian Buckley. He's our Senior Manager at the National Service Center. And we're going to talk about espresso. And on espresso, we're going to have all of that information that I just mentioned, including regulations and guidelines for working at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. And we've had some changes to our requirements for the exhibitor appointed contractors. So Brian is going to go over that in detail for us this afternoon. So Brian, if you're ready, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Tama. As she said, my name is Brian Buckley. I am a senior manager in the National Service Center. And one of the teams that I am over happens to be our Expresso team that develops and builds all of the sites and exhibitor manuals for every show. You should all be receiving a link to the Expresso site because each show has their own individual link. However, if you do go to ordering.ges.com, you will be able to find your show. It's very simple. You go to the Find Your Show here. You can simply type in Pitt, and you can see Pittcon 2019 will pop right up, and you click into that show. Now, for Expresso, you don't have to have a login to peruse the site. You can see anything that you want to see. However, if you do plan on ordering anything, you will have to log in. If you have an account, you can do that easily. However, if you don't and want to create an account, it's very simple. The Create Account button is up here, and it'll walk you through those steps. In the top left, you're going to have some of the most important information. You, of course, have your show, where it is, the dates of the show, and then the ordering services by Thursday, February 21st for best pricing. What this means is if you order online only before the 21st, you will get an additional discount on your pricing simply for placing the order through the Expresso site. Once February 21st passes, this will change to order your services prior to Monday, March 11th. And then after that, online ordering will be cut off. However, once the ordering is cut off, you can still come to the site and see any of the information regarding the show. So one of the places that I want to start, especially for newer exhibitors, is if you scroll to the bottom here, there is a tips and tricks link. This link here has just a plethora of information regarding some of the standard questions that we get, or some of the things that can be most confusing for newer exhibitors. It walks you through ordering trade show services, the move-in process, show site, the work zones, move out, some of the common things that once you get there can help if you're newer to trade shows. Going back to the site though, you can see there are several boxes, and then we have a side navigation here. These boxes will actually take you to this side navigation. The main page also shows what's included in your booth, any information specific there. You can go to the show organizer's website. There's some quick facts here. The important dates for your show, it's going to show all of the move-in. It's going to show the different exhibitor move-in and some special notes that may apply here. So we have some show hours, and then you also have your move-in. One of the really cool features is that you can just add these dates to your calendar, so you never have to worry about anything. You can actually select the dates you want, and they will sync to your mobile device, and you won't have to worry about it. And at the bottom, we have some exhibit freight information. We have the material handling estimate, material handling information, some shipping addresses, and then you can actually generate all of your labels right here from the site. It's very simple. You come here, it asks you for a little bit of information, and then you can print out actually the labels for shipping. So very handy there. The show home site will bring you back to the main page. So we'll start with some show information here. So like I said, this will take you to some of the quick links that we have here. We have quick facts, important dates and deadlines. There are a lot of specific Pittcon information within here that I would suggest you peruse through and check those out. Submit credit card is actually one of our newer features. You can come in here and submit a credit card online securely and safely at any time. You don't have to have an order, but if you'd like to have a credit card on file, this is a really easy way to submit your credit card without any hassles with paper or anything like that. You can also download specific forms if there are any specific services that are outside of GES that Pittcon recommends. We can download specific forms here, and then you can actually view the entire PDF manual here. And then at the bottom, again, we have some what's included in your booth, important dates, everything that was on the main page you can actually find here too. Going back to show home. Ordering for your booth. So this link will actually take you to everything broken down by type. So we have booth furnishings, everything that you need for booth furnishings. Another cool feature here is if you've previously placed orders on Expresso, those items will actually be listed in your previously ordered items, and you can actually just copy an order from either another show or a previous Pittcon show. So if you've previously ordered any items that you want to reuse for the show, this is a quick and easy way to get an order in. Clicking any of these will actually take you to the specific items themselves. So we have show packages here, so you can select any one of these. It's really simple. You click on what you need. You fill out the information required, quantity, color, table skirt, whether you want electricals, any special instructions here, and then just hit add to your booth, and it will add to your cart very simply and easily. Going back to some services here, we'll go to labor. So labor and equipment is often tricky. But our site makes it actually pretty simple to understand. There's a lot of information, some specific information up here. We have a walkthrough of important information regarding the labor and times, specifically about this show. They have the type, they have the prices, and then I'm actually going to log in here real quick so I can show you some of the features. And as you can see, this login is very simple. You put in your name. If you don't know your booth number, you can say, I don't know. If you do know your booth number, it'll actually pop up. You can actually search for yourself here. If you're available in the system, it'll actually pull up all of your information already. You won't have to fill any of this out. However, since I'm a tester, I have to put this in. You select what type, so you have exhibitor billing and third party. The majority are going to go for exhibitor billing, and you hit finish. And then you'll see that my cart actually pops up right here. It tells me I'm not really sure and what type of booth it is, and then it's a 10 by 10. And I can still continue to order with that. So one of the most important thing about ordering labor is this little calendar here. It's going to show you the dates that are available for you to order labor. Any of these kind of grayed out boxes are not going to be available. So you have move in and move out available here. So this is going to be where you're going to pick your date. Your preferred start time goes here. Again, this is not guaranteed, but we can definitely, if you have a specific time in mind, you can put it in here. How many workers, how many hours, supervisions, any questions, you can add a contact and we'll call you back, or any special instructions. And then at the bottom here, it's going to tell you a little bit about the labor, what straight time versus overtime and double time and all that is. It has the installation schedule, and it tells you any special notes again that apply to those days regarding move in or move out. And then we'll move back to show home. And we'll talk a little bit about material handling. Additional services. So additional services, as I'd mentioned earlier, any services that GES is not providing but are available for the show will be listed here. If you need audio visual, you can come in here and click on the link. It's going to provide you with either a PDF or a link directly to the website for that third party, depending on who they are and what they provided us. So this is a really easy way to find any additional information that you're looking for regarding services. So we're going to talk a little bit about exhibit freight and shipping. So this column has everything you need to know about shipping, drayage, and material handling. So we have our services where you can order. There's additional information about material handling and drayage, warehouse storage, special handling, shipping to the show. You can again print address labels here. There is a freight service questionnaire. If you want pre-printed outbound release labels, you can actually request those and we'll go ahead and get those ready for you so you have them. Marshalling yard information, international freight, show site storage, and then you can actually request a logistics quote if you're looking for shipping services through GES. I'm going to go ahead and click on the material handling and drayage services so you can see what this looks like. So there's a little bit about material handling here, like what material handling is. Material handling is actually the unloading of your shipment, transporting it to your booth, and the storing and returning of your empty crates and cartons, and reloading your shipment at the close of the show. So this service is not included in the cost of your booth space. So to avoid unexpected costs at show site, pre-order this service below. So down here, you're going to see these boxes. The starting at is going to be the initial price for where it's at. So depending on if the discount is happening, these prices will change. You also have cartload services and vehicle spotting services available for this show. So by clicking on, let's say, exhibit material handling, this page is going to show me everything about the exhibit material handling. Is going to talk about advanced shipments to the warehouse. It's going to talk about direct shipments. And then it's going to show me every price that has to do with the type. So we have advanced and direct, special handling, crated and uncrated. And then you're going to go ahead and put in your estimated total weight, your total pieces, where you're actually sending it. if GES is shipping, you get a discount. So if we are your carrier, then yes, you will actually get that discount. And then your type of freight, if it's crated or special handling, and then you go ahead and add it to your booth. And you can either view your cart or keep shopping. We'll go ahead and view the cart real quick so you can see what that looks like. So you can see I have my booth, company information, and then here's my estimated material handling. I have a quantity of 2 pieces, estimated price 131.32 or 263.43. So, and then there's a couple different checkout steps here that you can walk through. So your company information we're going to ask for. If you've already given us your company information, this is going to be pre-filled out. You also have the option to notify us if you're hiring an EAC right through the checkout. It's going to ask you for your payment, and then it's going to give you an order summary when you walk through that. So we can go back to shopping here. All right, if you have any files that you need to upload, like graphics or any booth layout diagrams or anything like that, you can actually come here. So the layouts we have for hanging sign, here's a hanging sign layout, you download it, and then you can upload the file here. And then any graphics that you have, you can go ahead and put your booth number and then describe what kind of graphic it is, and then upload the graphic files here. So very simple, easy way to upload and send those information to us here at GES. One of the other things I really wanted to talk about and hit on was the exhibitor appointed contractor or EAC and third-party information. So the exhibitor appointed contractor information, if we select here, this is going to be a PDF from Pittcon here that's actually pre-fillable. It's information regarding your exhibitor appointed contract notification. And then the notice to hire EAC. So the notice of intent needs to be filled out by the exhibitor. Okay, this is the exhibitor's portion letting us know that, hey, I intend on using this EAC at the show. The other two aspects of this, which are the agreement and their certificate insurance, these actually need to come from EAC or third party here. So the agreement should not be filled out by you, the exhibitor. You need to have your EAC come in and actually fill one of these out. And this just lets us know that they agree to our terms and our rules. And then the notice of intent, or I'm sorry, the certificate of insurance. This will actually need to be filled out by a broker, whoever your EAC is working with, all the information that you need for that. And then we actually use a third-party company called CertFocus that you'll come in here and you'll actually, the COI will need to be uploaded for verification through this system. It's really simple. You come in, you create an account, you log in, you upload your COI there, and then CertFocus takes it from there. Very simple, very easy. We can report on those, and we see those when they come in through CertFocus, so it's really easy. The bottom portion is the regulation and guideline proportion. So we have the display rules and regulations, and then we also have the official service provider information. This information just lets you know general rules and regulations for GES and how operations at the show go. The exhibitor appointed contractor information, once more again, is here. So any information regarding the rules and regulations and guidelines will be here. We also have the show site work rules, some safety stuff, and then our terms and conditions are also all available through here. So, and that's really it. It's really that simple. Again, you don't need a login to come in here and look at this information. You can download anything you want that's available. However, if you are going to order, just make sure that you either create an account or use the account that you have. Remember, your booth is up here at all times. If you need to add multiple booths, you can go ahead and do that here. You can just say add a new booth. If you want to add a responsible party, this is one of the newer features we have. So if you are using an EAC or a third party and you want them to be able to submit on your behalf, you can add a responsible party here. You can also do this if you have multiple people at your company that have designated jobs and you want a specific person to be able to come here and place orders on your behalf. You can actually do that too. It's very simple. You click here, create a booth. I can say, I don't know, and let's say it's a third party and finish. And there you go. And then I can send notifications to those people that, hey, I want you to come in and test on my behalf. Very easy, very simple. Are there any questions or that you have for me, or anything that you wanted me to touch a little bit more on regarding the site or ordering or navigation of the site?
I think we had a question about EACs, Brian, but it looks like that
Okay.
was answered.
Okay.
I'd just like to comment on the EACs. Sometimes there's confusion. Both GES and the Pittsburgh Conference requires the EAC form to be filled out. And we both require the certificate of insurance form from the EACs.
Okay. And all of those forms are located under the Exhibitor Appointed Contractor tab. So we have the show management form, the show organizer form first, and then all the GES stuff follows that. So everything is located in one area for you. You don't have to go anywhere else to get all that.
Brian, could you talk about the call center?
Yes, so thank you. We do have the need help here. If you want to call in, the National Call Center is open Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can also request a call back. If we are not in, you can leave a message and we will actually call you back. We also have our chat line here that you can chat anytime with one of our employees, 6 a.m. To 5 p.m. Pacific time. So yeah, this is a great way if you're stuck, if something's not working, if you can't find something, we're always available and willing to help. Yeah, you can also get a shipping quote or request a logistics quote in the corner down here as well.
Brian, is there a preferred carrier for logistics?
Is there a preferred carrier? Yeah, GES. Let me take a look.
You have an option. You can use GES, and there's also the one that we have, which is the other utility. For international.
Right. Shipping to the show. So for international freight, forwarder and custom brokers, agility fairs and events, this form right here will give you all the information as far as international shipping goes. This is actually part of the Pittcon that has provided to us. So any information you need regarding international shipping would be there. However, you definitely have a choice when it comes to shipping to the show. There are multiple routes that you can go. However, if you do want additional information about getting a quote or requesting a quote through us, definitely call the National Service Center. You can chat with us, or you can get a quote online right here.
If we aren't going to use an EAC, do they have to fill out the form?
No. Exhibitors don't need to fill out our form, at least for the GES side.
And not for our side either.
And can booth staff bring in booth materials themselves?
Yes. It also depends on what they're bringing in and how they're bringing it in. We do have under the material handling section here, material handling services. There are cartload services here. This will tell you all the information here. How to facilitate move in and move out for small exhibitor material. Cartload services available with one labor, one push cart, one trip. Services can be made one way from the dock to your booth or booth to your dock. Services for those that have small hand carry items. Cartload is 8 pieces or less. So cartload service would be charged for that. Yeah, sure.
And to follow up on that, the next presentation portion will be the materials from the PA Convention Center. And we have a lot of different details allowing you to understand what you can and cannot do on the floor. And for instance, with personally owned vehicles and other different types of things associated with move in and move out. So some of those other types of questions may be answered in one of the next segments that we go through.
Okay. Do I need an insurance certificate if I'm not using an EAC?
No.
For Pittcon,
For GES, anyway.
and for Pittcon, we do require every exhibiting company to either submit a certificate of insurance or a signed waiver and release. You cannot move in on the floor if we did not have one of those on file. Your EAC is required to submit proof of insurance. They cannot fill out a waiver for us.
Okay. I think that is all the questions we have for you, Brian.
All right, well, thank you very much for having me today. I really appreciate it. And again, if you have any questions, the National Service Center is here to provide top-notch service when you need it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Once again, this is Jeff White, and I'm going to go through the PA Convention Center's information. This segment is really about successfully having a show and operating within the confines of their rules and regulations. There is much more detailed information in this segment than I'm going to get into. I'm going to go really highlight some of the different information and allow you to look at it as you please at your own pace. There are specific work rules in place that have changed since the last time that Pittcon was at the PA Convention Center. These different sheets at the beginning really explain how they've made a substantial effort to make it a more seamless type of operation so that you really can get a great ROI through having a booth at the PA Convention Center. This segment details each of the different portions on here, and I'm going to go through some of the highlights associated with them, but when you're trying to figure out whether the GES type of presentation materials are what you want to look for, or you want to go to the PA Convention Center's materials, this slide here kind of gives you a good understanding of what you will find within this. We obviously just talked quite a bit about exhibitor appointed contractors. The rules from the PA Convention Center side can be identified and reviewed at the hyperlink here. The loading dock and the personally owned vehicles restrictions on the loading dock. If you're going to bring your own personally owned vehicle, and that actually has to be personally owned, cannot be like a U-Haul that's rented, please look carefully at this page. You'll see that there are certain types of restrictions that apply for certain types of vehicles and certain ownership. And so take some time to look through this if you are intending to bring your own vehicle and do your own loading. And I know somebody had asked some specific questions about that during the last segment. This should address most of those questions, but of course you can always ask GES and ask them to provide services to assist you as was identified beforehand. There are safety guidelines associated with the PA Convention Center, and they do vary based upon the size of your booth. If you're 600 feet or 600 square feet or less, there are certain provisions, and then there are additional provisions for all other booths. One thing to note, though, with Pittcon, we looked at the size of your booth plus a seminar room. For the sake of the PA Convention Center, those would not be combined to determine whether you're 600 feet or less. It's the individual booth that they're talking about. There are specific computer guidelines. These really relate to whether they're a display and whether they're interactive and how they're used. Of course, you can look through these to understand exactly what you can and cannot do. They are a little bit more flexible than they were in the past, so hopefully that makes things a little bit easier for the exhibitors. Electrical services, I mean, you can look through the details here to see what where electrical services are needed. The big emphasis on this is that you very much need to pre-order. Doing anything on site is always going to be more logistically complicated and oftentimes much more expensive. So pre-ordering anything is always a great suggestion, especially with regard to electrical services. Products and literature. You can see the rules associated with products and literature and what you're allowed to open. You can open your own boxes. You can store certain materials for a day under the Pittcon show rules. And so you can look through here if you have questions on what you can and cannot open. Of course, the people on site will be able to help you, and we can answer questions ahead of time. Audio visual, you can see that 600 foot or less number comes into play. Again, there are certain rules that apply if you're 600 square feet or less. And then others have additional restrictions that apply to them. Food and beverage. Aramark is the exclusive food and beverage provider within the PA Convention Center. So you're not going to be allowed to use third parties other than Aramark. So please make sure you go through them to meet all of your catering needs. Then finally, if you have specific questions about the services available or the rules applicable in the PA Convention Center, these contacts and hyperlinks should be able to get you to the right person. Of course, if you have any problem, you can reach out to us and we'll be happy to push you to the right direction as well. But if you have specific detailed questions, these are definitely the individuals or the groups to contact. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kim Pilastra, who's our marketing coordinator, who works with Miranda Flam on really trying to help you get that ROI through attending Pittcon.
Hello, everyone. Like Jeff said, my name is Kim Pilastra. I'm the marketing coordinator here. So we're going to start out by talking about publicity opportunities that are available. And these are all free for our exhibitors that we offer to help you promote Pittcon and promote your booth or your products. So first on here is the Pittcon Today Excellence Awards. This is actually the third year we'll be doing the Excellence Awards. They're done by our Pittcon Today. You can submit them today online. As you can see on this PDF, you can download this PowerPoint presentation and you can click all of these links live straight to our website. The deadline for the Excellence Awards is January 15th. So if you've had a product that you would like featured here or that you would like to submit into the awards, please do so by then. And just most of the criteria is that it must be launched after January 2018. So it must be a newer product. Next, we offer free press conference facilities. These have a basic AV setup. They're set up banquet style or classroom style. We have 3 rooms available, and the schedules are filling up pretty quickly. So if you would like a free press conference facility on site, you can email me or publicity@pittcon.org. Additionally, we do press release postings. We'll feature these on our press page. We'll post your white papers, and we'll feature those on our attendee page. We also have custom Pittcon banner ads, and we are happy to customize these for you, add your logo on them, add your booth number, and you can post these on your own website to help promote your presence at Pittcon. And lastly, this is our second year having a webpage called the Exhibitor Success and ROI Center. This is a free on-demand resource for all of our exhibitors. It includes handouts and tips on how to improve your exhibit experience and tools like exhibiting checklists, how to calculate your ROI, and all of those types of things. So it's a really great place. You can also find our webinars, like these planning meetings, and then our more content-related webinars are also on this webpage. Next here we have some more paid advertising and marketing opportunities available for you. Our final program ads, those are given out on site. We do have an attendee list rental. We got a new vendor this year. It will be Exhibitor, our registration company. We're still waiting on some information for that, and it will be available very soon. So if you've done this in the past, the process might be a little bit different. We also have on-site publication ads such as the Pittcon Today. We also have the Pittcon Buzz, which is an online digital version of kind of the Pittcon Today in a way, but it goes out pre-show, so there'll be one coming out in a couple of weeks, and then there's another one that comes out in the winter. And we also have the Pittcon Pocket Guide. So if you'd like to advertise in those, you can contact our friends at the Pittcon Today. Lastly, I'd also like to talk about our promotional opportunities that are available. And we'll get into these in a little bit more detail. So new this year, we are having a lot of special events, promotional opportunities. One is Pub Pittcon. This one's really interesting because this will actually take place before the expo even opens, since Pub Pittcon is open Sunday through Tuesday. So you'll be able to interact with attendees before the expo even opens, and you'll be able to collect leads. You can bring a badge scanner if you've rented one from Exhibitor, and you can sort of set up a little mini booth with a table and a tablecloth, hand out a drink ticket, scan the badges, and you can sponsor Pub Pittcon. Along with that, you also get escalator clings. There's a set of escalators that lead right up to Pub Pittcon, so you'll also get those included within this package. So it's a really great package to sponsor Pub Pittcon, and it's new this year. You can sponsor the expo mixer, so the ice cream, the coffee, and or the pretzels and chips. We're also hoping to do a walk this way pedometer contest this year, which is new, so you can see who has the most steps, and then they can enter in to win prizes. We have several branding and awareness sponsorships, such as hanging lobby banners, charging stations, the relaxation station. Those we've sort of had before. I'm sure you've seen those around at other shows. Digital-wise, we have a lot of things as well. The attendee registration is still available, which is a great package as well. You can have your banner ad directly on where attendees are registering. Your banner ad will also be on the confirmation email, which you have to actually bring to Pittcon and have scanned. And you also have a banner ad on the self-registration scanners on site, so you get a lot of exposure with that one. Product spotlight emails, the Wi-Fi internet cafe sponsorship, and there's a lot more on our website as well. And lastly, our mobile app. The enhanced mobile listings are one great thing you can add on, so you can add a PDF into your regular company listing on our mobile app. And whenever you buy something on our mobile app, it will also be available on our online planner. So even if the mobile app isn't downloaded, your enhanced mobile listing will appear in our online version of where you search the program and you search exhibitors and all of those things. And that's the only way you can search exhibitors in our program online. So you really get a lot of exposure on that. And lastly, push notifications. So if you're having a special event in your booth or a special promotion, you might want to send a push notification out to everyone who's downloaded the app. So other than that, the deadline for promotional opportunities are January 15th, and we would need your promotional opportunities to be paid in full by that time. And we will take some rolling after that, but on a first come, first served basis, and it will kind of depend on what the sponsorship is, if there's time to make sure that we can do it to the best of our abilities. And that is all I have for promotional opportunities and marketing. Are there any questions? Okay, I'm going to hand it back over to Jeff White. to close out.
So with that, I'd just like to say thank you to all the exhibitors who have signed up and are going to be attending. It's really important to help sciences grow and to use your support to help the scientific community through the funding that occurs through the existence of Pittcon. So thank you for participating. We're doing everything we can to make sure that you get the most out of Pittcon so that you really maximize your ROI. If there are ways that we can help you and the exhibitors as a whole, please reach out to us. My email address with the conference is white, W-H-I-T-E, @pittcon.org. And the entire team is very much interested in making sure that Pittcon is a success for you. So please let us know how we can help you do that. Once again, thank you for attending today's webinar, and we look forward to seeing you in March.